It's been long. It's been too long. It has been criminally fucking long. This is what we're making. This is how we're gonna make it. Let's go.
Now what you're going to want for your Navi cookies is 170 grams of caster sugar, 2 eggs, 100 grams of butter, 200 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of cocoa powder. Make sure that you get cocoa powder that can go into cakes and not just like dairy milk, drinking chocolate or any of that. Bicarbonate of soda, baking powder, a little bit of salt, and some white chocolate that you can melt. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take all of our white chocolate and we're going to put it in a little boat. Right in here. Break it up into small pieces because that means that it's much easier to melt. Oh, I can't do it that way. Come on. Oh, I can't do it. I'm so weak. Come on. Bah. And then bah. Oh, my fingers, my dainty fingers. So you stick it in the boat. I've done this loads of times before, but I think it's got like a special name. It's not just something that I made up. It's like a Marie Celeste du chocolate. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure I'll find out later. Haha. Saucy. That'll work out nice. Okay, so while the white chocolate is getting its melt on, we're going to mix the butter and the sugar together in our blender. And then you want to add half a teaspoon of baking powder into the mix. Get in there. Woo! Icky. Okay, so next we're going to take our flour and add the cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda and just a little dash of salt. Just mix that together all nice. Whee! Now you'll want to preheat your oven to gas mark 4. Gas mark 4 and gas mark 5 are really close together and that is some disconcerting shit. Ugh. Okay, now that we've mixed all our powders together, we're going to take them and put them in the eggy sugary mix. There we go. It's weird how it kind of looks like the powder's just resting on the surface of the liquid, like it's not really mixing. It's really strange, but it should mix after a while. Now, if you like, you can add some melted chocolate to this, some melted dark chocolate or plain chocolate, any kind of cooking chocolate, if you want your cookies to be a bit richer. But because we're having white chocolate Navis on top, the kind of combination of two rich chocolates can taste a bit overpowering in that. So this cookie mixture is actually quite plain. Well, I think I prefer that when you've got the white chocolate on top. It just tastes a lot better as a whole. So yeah, if you like them to be richer, then add a bit of melted dark chocolate, or you could add some chocolate chips to it. Anything like that is good, or even nuts. Go wild. They're your cookies, aren't they? Okay, so once you've mixed up your mixture nice and good and it looks all thick and it's really hard to manoeuvre, it is time to put it onto the trays. We'll be doing the greasy hokey cokey with these again, like we always do. So take some butter foil stuff, just rip it right off there. Oh, it's horrible. And then grease it up. Why is greaseproof paper designed so that it rips down in tiny little strips? It should rip into massive squares. Stupid paper. Honestly. I don't see why we couldn't all these out a little bit so they're a bit neater. There we go. I'm going to make a variety of sizes when it comes to these cookies, just to be scientific. And where would food be without science? Okay, when you've put your cookie dough onto your tray, make sure you put like a little indentation so that you can put the white chocolate or the icing that you're going to use for the Navi right in the middle. That helps it just sit in there. Boom, boom, boom. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully. I'm honestly just making this up as I go along. And they'll all want to bake in there for about 10-20 minutes. And then once they're all nice and baked, put them on a wire rack to cool. How's our white chocolate? Let's give it a prod. Wow, it's all liquidy. Alright, when your white chocolate is all melty like this, take it out of its Marie thing, and then you want to take it over here. Now what we are going to do here is we shall decant the white chocolate into the cookie, the Navi cookie, right into the little dip. And we're going to use a clever spoon. Oh yes. That's good. And after that you will want to stick these all in the fridge for about 10-15 minutes until they set. Now while those are in the fridge setting, we are going to make Navi wings. Come right here. You see, making Navi wings can be a bit crazy. You can do what you like. For this one, I've used this plain blue icing. For this one, I've used glittery blue icing. For this one, I have taken a cocktail stick and dragged blue food dye across it. And this one I have taken this strange stuff called luster powder. It's kind of blue and expensive, and I've dabbed it, and I've taken a cocktail stick to it. You see, there are all different kinds of effects, and you must choose whatever you want, or you can do all of them, and that is exactly what I am going to do. Now to make these wings, we are going to use this ready-to-roll icing. It's dead handy. You just want to take a clump of it and make sure you seal the top of it so it doesn't go all stiff again. Take some icing sugar and sprinkle some on there. You want to do this so that your clump of ready-to-roll icing doesn't stick and fall apart, which would suck. Take your icing. We don't want the Navi wings to be too thin, otherwise they'll just flop around. So that's enough. Now, Navi has these very cute, like, squashy dragonfly wings. They're quite beautiful little diamond shapes they are. And you want to make sure that when you cut them out, you don't cut them out too big or too small. Your cookies will all be different sizes, so you want to make sure you make them so that they don't dangle off your cookie too much. One wing. One wing to rule them all. Oh my god. Oh god. I'm sorry. Kinda like that. Here we have 4 sets of teeny tiny wings. I'm gonna start decorating them, or attempting to anyway. I'm gonna start with this plain blue. So there's one set with the plain blue icing. I'm gonna do the next set with the glittery blue icing. Done. I put in 3 veins on the top wings this time because I was feeling a bit feisty. Right, down to the intermediate level. This is really fiddly. This is why having the option of doing just plain old icing is kinda handy. Not everyone is obsessive enough to do this shit, but I am. Now the last set of wings are a little bit strange. You can use this stuff called luster dust. It's a bit pricey, but it's also a bit pretty. And you put your finger on the top there. Get some of it on your fingertip. And you go above. And you get this very, very pretty, magic dusty kind of effect. Righty-roo, once you've created all the wings that you want to use for your cookies, leave them to set, get nice and hard so they don't flop everywhere. And once they've set, they're ready to decorate. Yeah! Here's one I made earlier. Let's see if we can make lightning strike twice and recreate this perfection. Okay, so we're going to take our cookie and we want to take a pair of wings. Now to stick these on, I'm going to use the chocolate sauce. That means that if it smears a little, you shouldn't be able to see it on the cookie itself. Squeeze out a little there onto the tip, because that's where the wing is going to rest. Find a good place to stick it. That way, I think. Now the next thing we can do, this is optional, you can take your blue squirties and you can make some nice little shininess around Navi. This can be a bit mucky, so it's okay if you don't want to do this, but just adds a little bit of glitter, a little bit of sparkle to her. Cute, if you ask me. Yeah, you see, it is a bit blobby. Maybe I'll go without some of them. I somehow managed to have some wings left over. I don't know how I managed that. Anyway, let's go and see the cookies. Oh, yeah! But yes, here we have a full batch of Navi cookies. Aren't they lovely? You can see that I did a lot of different things with the different cookies. Ah! That Navi is drunk. Undrunk yourself, Navi. You're on show. Not impressed. Yeah, if you don't think Navi would be into random capitalisation, then you don't know the bitch like I do.